I almost just hit you with one out of nowhere, but I'm gonna warn you. I'm about to say hello to you and shit, so you can be prepared. I almost just went, "Hey, Soul,
I
how are you? Welcome to the show." Just out of dead
I know how
silence.
this works.
Yeah. I But hello, Soul. How are you? Welcome to the couch. Couch's room. Hello. Why are you laughing? I
Ah,
was saying hello.
oh, you're just so silly.
No, I would never.
Hmm.
So how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
A little tired, but yeah, I can't complain until I'm tired tomorrow, at
Oh, that
least.
that that I can agree with.
I'll get tired eventually, and then I'll complain about it incessantly on Twitter.
Oh no, sleep is gonna get canceled with the twit longer.
Ah, no.
Hate raid.
Fuck you, Elon. I, I don't ban me. I'm not a bot, probably. So, what's up? How are you? What have you been up to lately? You doing things? You doing things on the internet?
Yeah, I've been trying to like meet a lot of new people this year, honestly, because well, I've just wanted to meet more friends and make more connections. But I've just been playing a lot of projects.
That that was the most vague question I could have ever asked, and you turned it
It
into
is
something.
extremely vague.
So, I assume you expect me to talk about the looting of tubing first, but we ain't even starting with that. You don't get that first. You know what we get? Speed running. Because SoulCamera right here is a speed runner extraordinaire from what I hear and have seen in my time following her. More of the SM64 than the Dark Souls I've
Fuck,
seen.
I'm more retired than anything on that.
Listen, aren't we all? But uh, I don't know how many people would know this that are watching this, but you were in fact are in fact kind of semi in fact a speed runner of Souls games. I'm not sure which Dark Souls. That's one of the things I
I
couldn't find.
practiced Dark Souls 3. I
Three,
haven't
okay.
played Dark Souls 1 or 2. 2 I have tried. 1 I've yet to play. 3 I played incessantly.
hmm I always hear good about three and one, and people don't like
3 is very
two,
good.
and people don't like two. I assume two is fine. I'm guessing just in the realm of like Souls games, it's probably just not as good as one and three, and that's why
No,
people don't like it. I
I
don't know.
sped run Dark Souls 3 for a little bit. It wasn't long. I did
No.
it just because it was funny. And then I also started to speed run it while drunk.
Did it
Uh,
work better when you were drunk?
Ironically, yes.
That's the secret. You just do it drunk.
I was not like following any of like the particular like strats or anything. I was just going full in, not knowing anything about like how to speed run a game.
Yeah.
And from start to finish, uh I sped run the entire game while drunk in 2.5 hours.
Hell yeah. How is that like anywhere near any sort of record, or is that like the drunk percent record or something?
I I think most of the documented records are around an hour.
Okay. So did you when you uploaded, was it like this is the drunk percent speed run and I'm
No, I
number
did
one
not.
now? I would
It was
totally
purely
do
just
that.
for fun. It was purely just for fun.
Listen, you gotta get those world. That's why everybody runs those obscure games with the obscure categories so they can get that world record. Need to go back and
Yeah.
retime your drunk runs.
No, it was Super Mario 64 that I actually started timing things.
Yep, that's where I was gonna go to. That's where I first saw you back in the day. Uh, like I think it was a couple of years ago now.
It was around 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's when I first saw you doing SM64 speed runs. What category did you do, and how good did you get at it? Because SM64 is a rough game at like high level. Like it's just like honestly, it's a pretty hard game in general. Like even by nowadays
Yeah,
standard. But like to be like speedrunner at it, you got to be really fucking good because it's a fucking tough game.
I let's see. I used to do the 16 star and 70 star categories. We had to get like 70 stars, uh, or you have to get 16 stars and do a bit of glitching.
Hmm.
Uh, I would do both. And I would say the 70 star, I got around an hour and 9 minutes exactly. I remember this.
Hmm.
Hour and 9 minutes for the 70 star. And for the 16 star, I think I would get around 20 minutes.
So
Yeah,
are
around 20
those
minutes.
well in the realm of the top runners? How off are you from the top, or how close are you to the bottom? Are you somewhere in the middle at those times? I didn't look up like any of the top times for this. I just looked up that you had like one uploaded speed run to speedrun.com. Like I
Yep.
sleuthed that hard, and that's all I saw. So I don't know if you just stopped uploading them or
The
whatever.
other run that I recorded didn't count because wasn't on the proper emulator.
Oh yeah, because it's got to be like on like the actual
It's gotta be a
N64
specific
settings.
version,
Yeah.
yes.
So, how long did you practice SM64 to get to where you got to?
Only 6 months. On
On
and off.
only? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a large chunk of time. You know? Like
not really.
unless you were doing like just nothing but SM64 for 6 months straight, then it's probably a good chunk of time.
No, it was seriously on and off.
Oh, okay.
It was very casual. But
Well,
like I believe I was like 10 minutes off on the world record
oh, that's pretty
of
good.
the 70 star run.
So, what did Cheese's record scare you off? The constant 120 stars, or is just 120 star just too much? Because you
I
have
don't
to
think
know it.
I've even beaten the game at 120 stars.
You've never gotten 120 in SM64?
No.
I did when I was a kid. It took me like fucking years because I was a
I never
kid.
did. I never did play it actually. That was the first time I ever touched the game.
Yeah, that and for me, Banjo Kazooie. I was playing those two too much as a kid, so I don't think I
Nah,
can't do it as efficiently now as when I was a
I was
kid.
more of
But
a DK64 gal.
I dislike that game.
It's a fun
I
game.
don't
I
like.
loved it.
I'm a Donkey Kong Country guy, so I'm the 2D guy, and I just don't like what they did with 3D. Plus, I don't know. I just always preferred Banjo Kazooie and Tooie, even though Tooie's not that great. But Banjo Kazooie and SM64, and I was like, oh, DK, hell yeah! And then it was that game. Like, I don't want this. I want Donkey Kong Country. And then they,
You gotta be open to change.
oh no, I don't. Not with DK. I understand people like it, and I just don't. I just never liked. I'm always more of a 2D platformer anyway. Like I like 3D platformers, and I've played a ton of them, but
What? Because it's easier.
no. Well, maybe I don't know. It depends. Like I don't know. There's some hard 2D platformers out there because I do a lot of Celeste stuff, and that shit's hard as nails. So I don't know.
It's supposed to be.
Well, I've been doing the new Strawberry Jam mod lately, which is pretty damn rough. And then like B sides, C sides, and like the farewell chapter for Celeste, like even in the base game, that's pretty challenging stuff, honestly, that you're probably not gonna see just playing through the game normally. E-
Yeah.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Thigh squeezy.
Laugh at my mouth noises. Oh, that's my shtick. All right, I'm leaning back now.
I will pull out my tentacle.
Don't do it. I'll have to blur it, maybe? I don't know. Well, I haven't worked with the blur effect, so it would be good practice for if I had to blur something out fucking mid-interview. Like, oh shit, there's a nipple. Gotta blur it. Thanks, soul.
Oh, you got blessed.
So, this is a two-part question that I've kind of broken down into four parts because I'm a thorough question asker.
Uh huh.
I'm very good with words too, as you can tell. Uh, I
Extremely.
love being a question asker. So how long have you been on? I wouldn't say the internet, but like Twitch, like streaming, like even JTV if you're old enough. I know what JTV is. Uh, how long have you been around? And why did you end up streaming or doing live content when you started to do live content? Whenever you did, whenever you started up.
Uh huh. Uh, I would say I started around 3 years ago.
Hmm.
Uh, back in January 2020, I believe is when I started. But uh man, I barely remember like when I started.
You don't remember your first stream day at the very least?
I remember my first recorded stream. I remember it was a very vague game from like friend developer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was basically like a Stardew clone,
Oh,
but it
okay.
had like cute animals and all that. And I was just playing that to begin with.
See, for me, mine was February 11th, 21st. It ended in a one. It's been fucking way longer for me of 2011.
Yeah,
So it's not like somewhere around there. I'm fucking old. So
yeah. I hit like affiliate within like 2 weeks of starting,
oh
ironically.
hell yeah.
So like I started quick. I started strong.
Oh yeah.
But then I believe some complications arose that like I couldn't foresee, which was like college at the time.
Oh,
Um or like college and other complications.
work life,
Monetary.
all that stuff. I feel you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was on and off of streaming for a good while.
Yep.
And I couldn't take it seriously. I was a cam tuber back
Like
then.
like what? Like IRL, I guess.
Like
You can.
IRL,
Oh, okay, yeah,
yes.
yeah,
I just call them cam tubers because they just use a webcam.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Flesh tuber, you can say that
Yeah.
too. Well, whatever your poison is.
But I so I started doing that, but I was like, this doesn't feel me, you know?
Hmm. Yep.
And I had this concept in mind for like a character that I was like, I don't know, I want to try this for like an avatar.
Yep.
Ironically, the first thing about like me as a VTuber model, I started as a VR chat model.
Hmm.
The concept started as a VR chat model,
I think a lot of
and
people start with a 3D model,
mhm,
especially a few years back, just because cost. It's
yeah,
a lot.
I started with the PNG first. I was
Oh,
like, I want something to personify me. So instead of using a camera, I use a PNG in the little bottom
Mm-hmm.
left-hand corner.
Yep.
I was like, oh, this feels better, but not
No.
quite what I wanted. And but at that point, I was like, I like this concept. So I asked my friend to make me a VR chat model,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually, if you look on to my offline screen on my Twitch channel, that is the original model that I've had over the years. That was my original VR chat model.
So have you just like not changed that in screen, or have you
No,
purposely
I
used it
I've
to?
I've chosen to leave it as is because it's basically my origins. You
Mm,
know, it's who I was, and who I was has not changed.
that's why behind you on the shelf there is my, I guess, original iteration. All those long cursed things back. So my like the original of that, the long Chansey, is back there, and I would dress it up according to the game that I was playing. So like the
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh hair back there, the Mario Maker hat, like the
Oh yeah,
cowboy,
classic.
yeah, the cowboy outfit for when I did Red Dead, and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
I like this is before I even had just a normal PNG in my first model. I would just throw this thing up as a mascot, and I would still be just on camera, and he would just or it would just be in the corner, dressed up, and even back then, people would come and be like, "What the hell is that thing?" Like, don't be mean. It's long chance. Don't be mean to it. So I get you. I get like, yeah, almost no, remembering your roots, I guess, so to speak. But it's not Pokemon though. Don't sue me, Nintendo. I'm Fat Jesus. Ain't no
It's all fair
chance.
use.
Yeah, exactly. No chance you look. I'm gonna say this every episode at this point. I'm just gonna have to tell Nintendo not to, Game Freak not to sue me every goddamn episond.
They're
Uh,
very trigger happy with their lawsuits.
ah, well, I'm not making ROM hacks. It's fine. I don't give a shit. I'm not distributing ROMs. I just yell at them on Twitter. So you were heading towards it kind of with your answer. So I'm gonna jump in. Uh,
Mhm.
why did you settle on an Android? And what led you down that route for the design of your model, and where you wanted to go with it?
It was purely based off of the notion that I loved technology
Hmm.
because I actually went to college for a robotics degree.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I actually have an associate's degree in robotics. I have the authority to work on robots that could be on an assembly line.
Oh shit. That's
Uh,
badass.
extremely. But uh, I purely based it off of the image that I want to be, my goal, so to speak. It's like I love long ponytails and I love body lines. In fact, I'm actually debating on like getting like a sleeve or something, uh, like a sleeve tattoo
Hmm.
based on like my android lines.
Oh yeah, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Do you want me to put my ponytail on? That's not my side ponytail, so we can be ponytail
It's fine.
buddies.
It's fine.
So, now we both have
But
ponytails. It's fine. Well, I got a toggle.
but I just love technology. And I won my uh my model to show that
Hmm.
of how much I just love and care about technology.
And what's more technological than than a living android robot? Is it racist to call it AI a robot? Is that like a thing?
AI are completely different.
Okay, so it is.
That is a different that
Don't
is a
cancel
subspecies is what it is.
don't cancel me, please. I don't know the
So, like,
lore of.
robots are different than androids, as androids are different than AI.
Oh shit. But do robots
They are
and
all completely
androids
different.
but do robots and androids have AI in them, or are they their own thing? Like this is where it gets convoluted a little bit.
I would say that robots and androids, they are their own thing.
Okay.
AI are categorized as the entity that is the intelligence. So we may have an AI. That doesn't mean that we are called an AI
So
because I'm a living android.
okay.
I am alive, but that doesn't categorize me as an artificial intelligence.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's like I have a brain, but just because I have a brain doesn't mean I'm smart,
Yeah,
which I am not.
exactly.
Which I am not.
Doesn't
You don't have
mean
to
that
say.
I'm
You don't have to
smart.
say yeah to that. What? You don't have to agree with me.
Doesn't mean
You
that I
have to agree with me.
I'm
It's like
extremely smart.
it's no. You're
I'm
supposed to be
extremely
like,
smart.
no, FJ, you're totally smart. Not be like, haha, yeah, you're dumb.
You are free to call yourself however you wish.
That I will. I'll never miss a chance to self-deprecate and be unhealthy
Consent with
mentally.
yourself is the most important thing.
For your design, I'm gonna go off my script here. So are you a? I'm thinking of this off the top of my head. So are you a human that's been modified into an android? Are you
No,
a
that is a
android that's
cyborg.
been given human stuff? So how do you work on that front?
Anything that includes any type of biological matter is a cyborg.
Oh, okay. So what are you like? How were you made? In
Fully metal.
okay, so you're just
I am a full android.
okay. So and then they just plop.
No biological matter.
Okay, so they just plop not like an actual brain, but then they just plop a brain in you and start you up, and then you know now you're here. That how it works. Not like an actual brain, obviously, but they start you up kind of like a
I was about to
lawnmower.
say no brain is
No, not like an
no
actual brain, but like
no brain is in this head.
no, no, that's my line. So they start you up like a lawnmower, and now you're going. That basically it in a couple cranks,
Well,
and
that's
now
just
you're here.
rude.
What?
Call me a
No, I
lawnmower.
said like a lawnmower.
Comparing me to one?
No, just the startup function of a
I am
lawnmower.
much better than those dirt eaters.
I don't think lawnmowers eat dirt.
They eat dirt.
Okay. They touch grass. What?
What?
So is your design, one last thing, is it based on you, or is it like how you actually look, or is it like a just a completely you made it up and you're going with it? Because obviously I look exactly like how I look in all my pictures with this. So, and I know a lot of people, infuse their designs with, aspects of themselves,
Mm.
That's why I have all the hair toggles I have, because I have long hair and I wear it in a ponytail and a side ponytail and shit all the time. So, I don't know. People incorporate, themselves into their, designs, and I'm wondering how much of that or none of that have you done with your design?
It's not exactly like I don't know, a made up concept to me because this body right here is what I aim to be,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Because this is completely realistic standards.
Hmm.
Uh, but this is just a goal to me. This is who I perceive myself as.
Oh, okay. So this is the you're
So
chasing
this is
what you
as real
want.
to me as it is to you.
Oh, okay. So this is your ideal self that you're striving to be for, that kind of
Yes.
thing. Hell yeah.
longer hair, working out here and there,
Working out.
modifying my body with technology.
Yeah, I was about to say, fucking lopping your arm off and getting a new arm installed. That
Yeah,
kind
let
of
me
stuff.
slap an iPod into my arm.
That,
Boom! Tell me your life secrets.
yeah, tell me your life secrets. Why are you being
Why am I
a
gay?
why are you fucking on the internet? All that stuff. I don't want to. What? Like your
It's
mom.
just
Why are you doing the sexual stuff on the internet, Saul?
so.
You mentioned that you were a flesh, a cam streamer, an IRL streamer, whatever you want to call it, whatever terminology you want to use out there. So, did you do any of the quote sexual stuff that you do? Because Soul is a lewd tuber. I should preface that before we start going. So if you're not hugely into sexual stuff, maybe proceed with caution going forward in the video. But when you were doing the IRL stuff, were you doing any of the lewd stuff back then, or did that come after you started doing the whole redesign into the Android?
I was not actually. At that point, I actually hadn't decided what I was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the past, I was extremely socially awkward.
Aren't we all?
I no, it was to the point where I had trouble speaking. So I would not interact with many people. I would not hang out with many groups. But uh it wasn't until a couple years ago when I actually started basically the road of self-discovery. Uh and I would say a little bit after I developed the soul body uh and my model and everything, I was like, I want to try to explore things. Mind you, I was already loving women.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Same.
already loving women at that point. I've always been like that. Uh, but I would say VR chats was
Oh,
actually the thing that opened up my doors to being lewd in general
mm-hmm.
because I actually found it just fun to just, quote unquote, spread my wings and arms and
Legs.
yeah. Man, you took that right out of my mouth.
I don't know about that
It's
terminology
much easier to
phrasing.
spread your legs when you actually enjoy it.
And you're an Android too. You probably got more flexibility.
Well, if you actually saw one of my VR chat live streams.
Listen.
But I I found out that VR chat actually opened up the doors to me.
Mm-hmm.
And not only got my original concept of my first 3D model, it also opened up my legs.
Alright, that's fine.
As you say.
Nah.
Uh, but I just found it fun. I didn't do it for anyone else's enjoyment. I did it for me. And I think that was like the best thing I could have possibly done.
I feel like
Cause
that. Sorry to interrupt. I feel like that should be the
yeah,
mindset of anybody doing anything. Honestly, especially
mm,
streaming. I see so many people that are like, not that it's bad to want like to be like partner on Twitch or whatever or anything like that, but I think if you're just starting
mm.
out, like if you're not having fun doing it, like
Becoming a
why are
partner
you
on Twitch
doing?
is always a very nice goal and aspiration for people to start streaming on Twitch. But if you aren't doing that for yourself at first and actually start low,
Yeah, exactly. You know,
You are likely doing it wrong, and you're going to hurt yourself in the future.
yeah. When did you first want to get into, well, after, okay, I assume you weren't doing all the VR chat stuff on, you know, whatever.
No,
Yeah. So when did you first want to actually do the stuff? I wouldn't say, I guess on stream, I guess would be probably the easiest term to just fold it down into.
I can't exactly place a date
I
on.
don't need like
Uh,
it was April 4th at 3:24 p.m. Like nah, I don't need
no,
that,
no,
but
no,
you
no,
know,
no.
yeah.
It was just. I think it was a little bit after that I actually had a relationship in VRC because I was opened up to the possible lewdness
Hmm.
of you know, seeing someone in a virtual space. Mind you, I was still in desktop. I was at desktop mode.
I mean, it's still
Uh
pretty immersive for the most
yeah,
part.
it's still extremely
Yep.
immersive. And this was back in like 2018. Ah, I think that's around like when I actually started to open up about being y- a little bit more lewd than what I was like used to.
Yeah, you're in the
Um,
shell breaking a little bit.
yeah, it started to crack at that point. But after that whole relationship ended, um, I invested in getting my first Oculus, which was the Oculus Rift CV1,
Hmm.
one of the first Oculus Rift headsets that were coming out on the market. Uh, and I was blown back on like how immersive it could be, and not to mention how easy it was to get in these type of situations, especially with VRChat back then.
Would you
It's like you
say
can
it's
literally go up to anybody and just kiss them right on the cheek, right there in VRChat, and no one will bat an eye.
that
That's
like
because that's just that type of environment.
would you say
Sometimes
that VR chat has gotten worse or better since those days?
I would say it's gotten like so much better. Back then, it was very janky. It was very haphazard.
Oh
People
yeah.
were doing their own thing. Uh, but now I would say it's more orderly. It's more directed. It's much more open than what it once was. And I can honestly genuinely thank VRChat for helping me discover myself in a way, because I can guarantee if I hadn't spent my time in VRChat as much as I have, I mean my like 2,600 hours in VRChat,
That's all? Come on. A rookie number.
well, nearly 2,000 of them have been in VR. I can fully say I would have likely been different than the person I am today.
You start doing more lewd stuff in VR. I'm about to hit you with something.
Oh,
I'm about to hit you
oh,
with something.
uh-huh.
I've mentioned this to you before. So when did you
A
first
big
just
cock?
no, no, not that no, no, not that much. Not that much. No birds and the bees. You probably know more than me. uh
I know a lot more.
so when did you first decide to stream on the old plexstorm.com org, whatever the fuck it was?
Oh,
I have this as forbidden lore under my notes because
oh,
because,
that website.
because somebody sent me back in the day a link to the website and I was perusing it and you were on there and I didn't
I
go to
was.
that site ever for any sexual stuff, but I saw that in your about me or whatever it was on there you streamed on Twitch as well. And that's when I first followed you. I went from Plexstorm and followed you on Twitch
Wow.
to. Yeah,
Flex Flexstorm
exactly.
is how you found me?
Yeah. Because they were like, oh, look at this gaming website, and there's like fucking people fucking on it or whatever. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'll peruse. And then
There was
you.
not much fucking on
Mm,
that site. I will tell you that much.
there really was. There really
No,
wasn't.
there was almost none. There
But
was a
yeah,
lot of for I remember that site as a lot of solo stuff as well as god awful overlays.
listen.
The people streaming that site made me want to fucking rip my hair out over how bad the overlays were.
But yeah, that's where I found you. Somebody sent me a link to you happen to be live on whatever day, I guess. I'm like, oh, that's cool, and you're doing
There
whatever.
was a time where I was literally top of the site whenever I would go live.
True. That's probably where I saw you. I'm like, well, I'm probably never gonna come to this site, but she has her Twitch link, so I went and followed you there from Plex. So that's how I found you
That's funny.
back in the day. I can't. I would assume that not many people have found you through that route like I have, but uh, that site was fucking awful. I remember going to it a few times and it would like never fucking load. Like the quality was
No.
shit. There was like
No,
four
it was
people,
awful.
like four
I'm pretty
people
sure
live.
they still owe me like $80.
You hear that, Plex Storm?
But I know I'm never getting that back.
You'll get it. Just call the Better
No, I
Business Bureau.
no, I
Uh,
won't. No, I won't. They've been gone for like fucking 2 years.
Rest in peace. But when Plexstorm aside and the demise of the site, why when did you make that conscious effort to finally be like, hey, I'm gonna do some of this more lewd stuff live on a stream?
I feel like it was just more of a slow realization that like I'm just becoming a much more openly sexual person.
Hmm.
So I figured I would put this into my character. I would just be openly lewd and just see how I feel about it. And I figured I found it fun.
Oh yeah,
I was lewd purely because I just found it fun. Not because I wanted to sexualize anything, not because I wanted to become a porn star. I didn't think of anything. I just found it fun because I could be more truthful than I could have ever have been about myself because I'm just a naturally flirty person. And what better way to personify yourself than you being 100% honest with your character without putting a mask on at all? Because I haven't put on a mask ever since I started doing any type of online thing. I've always been me, and I'm always going to stick to me because I don't want to, like, quote unquote, put on another body just to fit the algorithm's needs. I don't want to do that. And I even told some of my friends, like, if I ever change to fit like someone else's needs, uh please punch me. And I've held true to that.
I don't know.
And I haven't changed.
I mean that's a. I mean I think there are two types of like I wouldn't even say just VTubers, just like streamers slash entertainers in general. It's the people that are in character all the time, and there are people that don't give a shit and just do whatever they want. I'm more
I
I'm more
I love
you.
being genuine.
Yeah, I'm more you. Like I'm never fucking. I'm just me all the time in this fucking egg body. Like if somebody's like, "Oh, what's your lore?" It's like, whatever you want. Like I don't know. Like I'll go with it. Yeah,
I'm a
like
creature.
yeah, like I'm like Eggy's only like alive right now just because people are like, oh, like,
I
because in my
yeah.
first model, Eggy was just a fucking egg. And then people are like, what's with the egg? Like, it's just an egg. And then I'm like, well, fuck.
Where did it come from?
Exactly. I'm like, I don't know, it's just there. And now when I
Did
got my
you shit it
2.0,
out? Like
no,
what? Did you find it in an egg carton and decide to take care of it? What?
sure. I think it just regenerates. I think the quote Chansey lore, like in game, is like they give out soft boiled eggs, because it heals people, and then obviously I guess it just materializes another one. I don't fucking know. That's how I've always treated Eggy. It's like, well, because my throw redeem is just fucking pelting me with Eggy, so I feel like it's just all a bunch of different Eggies getting thrown at
To be
me.
fair, my my chat pelt me with milk.
Oh, like mommy milker's milk.
Sure.
Is that your lore now?
No,
Oh, okay.
I've actually been putting some very serious thought into my lore.
I wish I have lore about how the fucking Chansey was like walking down the road and then fell into a portal and
Mm.
all that stuff and got fused into me, Matt, the real life person, and that's why it's here. But that's
I
about it. Like anything else, it's just like like somebody called me their dad at one point. I'm like, well, I guess I'm somebody's dad now. Like I'll just go with whatever. I like I'm very
uh,
laid back and easygoing. If you want to like throw me in your lore or something, I'll be like, sure, fuck, it, I don't care. I'll roll with it.
I actually like implementing some of my actual past into my lore.
Like what example
Uh
on the spot? This is all on the spot. What am I saying?
if I were to include a piece of my past, then it would likely be that I was neglected emotionally, and it was completely up to me to discover myself and choose my own path. Honestly, it's just like it's just a difficult thing because I make it clear that I actually do not like my parents at all.
Hmm.
It's like if you don't know, I I actually look down on my parents because they actually do not support LGBT. They were a wall supporter, that type of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I was extremely disappointed in them. It was sad to see.
Yeah.
I just found it sad that I had to even associate with them.
Hmm.
So I had to cut them off several years ago, and I haven't spoken to them since. So I've had to be on my own uh with like self-discovery, with like taking care of myself. Um I just cut them off completely cuz I don't want that to be connected to me in any way, because I want to show that like people can take care of each other despite being different. And I want to promote positivity in a safe space in my community. And I would say that I've done that pretty well, as people talk in my Discord almost every day, even in the lewd area, the 18 plus chats. They they talk to each other and bring each other up whenever they decide to post a body pic. It's like, hey guys, I'm looking at it. Guys, like, so cute, so hot.
Hmm.
And it's just I've I want to personify something that is completely different than what my uh, my biological parents have tried to show,
Hmm.
because they try to enforce like their will upon me, which was honestly the whole reason why I went to college in the first place, because they just like pressured me to do so. and they were just trying to like gaslight me, that type of thing. We want the best for you. We want you to do good. We know you can do amazing things. Like, that's not what I want to hear. That's not what I need to hear. And I'm pretty sure like a lot of people can relate to that. And I want to say is just like that doesn't need to define who you are. Your parents could be the biggest piece of shit, and you could be the nicest person in the entire fucking like continent. It your origins do not define who you are and who you want to be. And that's I feel like that's what drew me to become a feed tuber because I could actually put that as a reality. I wanted to be a beacon, so to speak, for a safe space, positive like feelings and just everything that is associated with that. I wanted to make people smile. That is the original reason that I became a content creator. I wanted to make people smile above all else, despite the means. So I just figured I could actually just make people happy by being lewd as well because I enjoyed it. So why not have other people enjoy it? Whether it's with their pants down or up.
It's a good reason too to get into this, I guess, field of the field of work. I guess I don't know this space is like you hear a lot like we were talking about earlier. Like some people just want to get into it to be partner or big on YouTube or whatever. But like I feel like the people that start off like you, where you're like, oh, I just want to entertain people and make people smile. Uh, when I started up back in the day, I just wanted to hang out with my friends and make new friends. That's why I started up streaming. So I understand the wanting to start all this up and then not for like if the money if the money or the fame or whatever comes, it comes. Even back then, I was like, if I never get to this, but I've met the people that I've met in the first year or two of me doing this, then I'm completely okay with that. So I think it's a very good thing when somebody gets into doing something, even if it's not content creation, and their first and foremost thing isn't always money, or something like that, or something nefarious.
Retweeting is valid, but please make some type of content.
Yeah, like you can tweet all day, like the whole thing, like you can have a ton of Twitter followers or whatever. Like it's always been like that. You can have a ton of followers on Twitter. That doesn't mean they're coming to your streams or watching your
No.
YouTube videos or anything like that. So, got to keep doing stuff. Got
You
to
could
keep.
have the biggest you could have the biggest community on one platform and be almost non-existent on another.
Oh yeah, from it probably wasn't a direct jump from a Plex Storm, but when I don't know, maybe when you just stopped doing Plex Storm, where did you go after Plex Storm? Did you ever do OnlyFans before the Fansly that you're currently doing, or
Nope.
was it just Plex
No, I
Storm? Then
actually
you
did I did Picardo.
oh, I don't know what that is. Educate me.
Picardo is actually an 18 plus site is meant for 18 plus users, strictly for art purposes.
Hmm.
There's a lot of not safe for work art being made on there. And but it was on stream form and there was uh a gaming category. So I figured why not just start a Picardo stream and see how things go. And it worked out for a while, honestly. And I was just having fun with it. But after a while, it did get a little like, okay, I need to expand here. I can't really post anything. It's extremely limited.
Hmm.
So I wanted to figure out, um, like, what could I do from here? So I found out that Fansly had uh, a beta version of live streaming.
Hmm.
So I decided to hop on there and give it a try recently. And I started my Fansly uh back in like December or yeah, it was around December, I think.
So it's
And
fresh. It's only a few
it,
months
it
old.
yeah, it's very new. I still haven't posted too much on there, but I do stream there like
I've gotten a few
every week.
emails. Yeah. I'm never around when you're streaming on there because, like,
I noticed you follow.
yeah, I partially because I wanted to do this. I wanted to see how Fansly worked. I'm like, well, if I'm gonna fucking ask Soul to do this, I'm gonna give her a sub for a month, see how Fansly works, and like go full into the rabbit hole of what
Mhm.
kind of stuff you would get if you sub to somebody or even just followed somebody on Fansly. How similar to Twitch is it? Obviously, you do lewd stuff on there, but
It's
like, is the streaming pretty much you put in your
uh
thing on OBS or whatever, and you're good to go. You like your stream key, and you're good to go over
it's
there.
pretty similar in the overall setup if I'm gonna be honest, it's extremely similar. It's like imagine if you put the bare basics of Twitch, a chat, maybe some emotes,
And a video
and
player.
some moderation systems and a donation system.
Hmm.
All of that mixed in with a Twitter timeline. It's basically that. It's not much.
Follow up for Fansly, is it when you do when you tip, I guess, for the lewd stuff when you're doing a stream, is it like, I guess, Chatterbait, where you buy X token or whatever, and then blah blah blah, you redeem it, and you know the vibes start going off, how
No.
does it work with Fansly? Because I
No,
assume it's different.
ironically.
Okay.
That's only if you actually want to integrate Lovin's into it, which is the wireless sex toy
Hmm.
add-on that you could do. Um, so you could do tokens that way. But oh no, it works based on the original donation amount, which is actually in dollars. So there's no purchase of tokens necessary.
So basically, it's just you donate $5 or whatever, and then thing happens. I guess with Fansly, that would it.
Donate $5, something
Yeah.
happens.
Okay. So it's just I actually like that because one of my biggest gripes about Twitch is fucking bits. Like, if you want to give me bits,
No,
like, you do you, but I think it's
my
egregiously bad how much
no
they
no
mark up
no.
bits.
My biggest gripe is the pay split, which is actually one of the
Well,
most
okay.
favorite things.
Well, that's true.
My
That's true.
my most favorite thing about Fansly is that the actual payout that you get is 80 to 20.
Damn, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah,
really
you get
fucking good.
80%. It's really nice.
And by the way, it's not my only gripe with Twitch. Just one of the many, as somebody who's been
And
on
many of
the.
that we could not mention.
It's one of the many that I've come across in my decade plus of being on the website. It's just one of the. I don't know. I've never liked the whole fucking like the bits is fine. Like, that's fine. Like,
Bits are fine.
it's the markup they add to the bits
It's a
is.
way to earn money other than
But
that.
it's like,
But the
if you're
stuff
like, you want to give me $100 in bits, right? And you're paying like 130. Like, what? No, just don't owe me the 100, and I'll take 90 to save you
do
$30 or
you
whatever.
do
You're
you
doing
remember
Fansly stuff now.
I am.
Uh, after after Plex Storm, after finding yourself, the progression of the camera, as it
Mhm.
will, the Nikon is getting zoom lenses added to it by the year. So when you're doing a collab stream on the more sexual, the more lewd side,
Mhm.
how do you go about finding collab partners for that kind of content? Because it's I would assume it's a little more tricky than just being like, "Hey, want to play Fall Guys or something?" Instead, it's like, "Hey, want me to like peg you or something?" You know, I feel like it's a whole different it's like a whole different like maybe it's not different, but to somebody
Uh,
outside looking in, it seems very different,
well,
you know?
I believe there's like a system that you have to be verified on Fansly in order to be on a live stream. So anyone that would have to collab with me or
Hmm.
would want to collab with me would have to be verified. Otherwise, I wouldn't. It would basically be my hands are tied.
Hmm.
I can't do anything about that.
So
So
basically, you have to be verified on Fansly itself, essentially.
I believe so.
And then
At
if
least that's the standard that I'm holding to.
I mean, that's probably a good thing because sometimes, especially with like VTubing and stuff like this, like you could like, I hate to be the cliche, but there could be anybody back there, and if there happen to be like underage or something, you definitely don't want that kind of shit. That would,
Mhm.
that's shit you definitely don't want to fucking get into at all. So that's probably a good thing for Fansly to implement as a whole, honestly, or just a person and like you just be like, hey, be be who you are. Don't be
Yeah,
somebody else.
I also don't like the whole like the age verification thing on Discord.
What age verification?
Exactly.
Like with YouTube, I get it.
I have had several people come into my chat despite my channel being marked as an 18 plus channel. There's going to be sensitive content because I do talk about some not safe for work subjects. I have 18 plus in my title at all times, and there are still some people that are like, "Hi, am I allowed to be in here? I'm 13." It's just like,
Yeet, yeet.
ban?
Like I get it.
Like, I'm sorry to do this to you, but you're not allowed to be in here.
I get it. You're a kid. You're just gonna make an account and fucking put the age to
It's
be
like
18. You know?
I don't care like how old you are if you want to just watch my streams.
Yep.
My actual Twitch streams. I don't care.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But if you're going to publicly state your age in the chat on a public platform, you are not at a mental age safe enough to be in this chat. So
Well,
I have to get rid of them.
I would say like I don't know. If you're an adult, you want to say your age. I don't care. Maybe it's different. Like if you're in my chat and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm 28 or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like I don't care. But like if you're like young like that, yeah, don't do that. Don't be like, oh, I'm 14. Like, well, I'm banning you.
Ban?
Nice to meet
Like,
you.
good job, B14 in a Roblox stream.
Yeah, come back in 4 years, I guess. But I mean, I'm not doing like fucking sexual stuff, obviously, but I have no filter and I'll talk about whatever and I'll curse and all that stuff and like,
Yep.
so I don't know, like I'll say what I just said about fucking pegging and I don't give a shit. Like during like talk show segments, like we've talked about how much we would like fucking pay to suck Chris Evans' dick and shit like that. Like I don't want a 13-year-old to be fucking listening to me say that.
Exactly.
Or, anybody underage, not
I
just,
don't know how much I would pay.
fucking, I'd do it for
Probably
free.
not much.
Do it fucking for free. It's Chris Evans. It's, what are you
Eh,
talking about here? He's a
I have
good looking man.
standards.
He's a good looking
If
man.
if I'm gonna fucking suck a dick, I better get fucking paid.
It's Chris Evans. He'd throw you. He's got Captain America money, which is a lot
I
of
have
money.
standards.
You're only Iron Man, or are
I
you
may
Robert
be an
Downey
e-whore,
Jr.?
but I'm not a
Oh,
whore.
hey man. Yeah, but then you have the story about sucking Captain America's dick, you know? You- Yeah, you bring that up at a party. Oh, what'd you do over the weekend? Oh, I sucked Captain America off. Fucking full on
He
bricked
gave
in my
me he,
mouth.
he gave me that good freedom.
Exactly. Freedom isn't free till I'm done with. Uh, sorry, Susan. I miss you already. Oh fuck. So basically,
Sweet,
so
sweet,
when
sweet freedom.
when you're looking for collab partners, is there like is it just like you find them? Is it just like when you're finding somebody to like collab with on Twitch, except on the more lewd side, or is there like a is there like a bulletin board for this kind of stuff, or how does it work? Like, or is it just pretty much the same except it's for like the lewd side of things?
Pretty much it's just suggestions on Fansly, and maybe if they're posting a link on like, hey, I'm live on Fansly, it's like there you go.
You want to pop over, wink, wink, that kind of stuff. I mean, because
Wink,
obviously you have to vibe with the
wink, wink,
person, like
nudge, nudge, poke, poke, hee hee.
hee hee, ooh woo, XD, all that good stuff.
But they
So
have to be openly lewd on like all of their platforms in order for me to ask.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you like see them on Fancy or whatever, like, but they might not be 18 plus on somewhere else, like it's weird.
Yeah.
Like when I'm looking for somebody to collab with, like I'm just you know I usually go to friends. So like, and I assume that it's a little bit more tricky if like I don't know how many of your friends are also like lewd tubers
I would
and
say
very
I'm pretty well
sexual.
connected with everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you probably have people that you can go to and be like, "Hey, wanna fuck," for lack of a better term, and they'd be down. Just like you'd go to somebody for like a stream, be like, "Hey, wanna play some Valorant?" So it's akin to that, but
Yeah.
you just kind of build up your resources as you've been doing it, for
Yeah,
however
it's
long
just
you've been
like
doing
some
it.
people I've actually like taught on how to LewTube.
So I'm a teacher
Hell,
too.
well, I've also taught people how to stream as well.
Streaming's easy.
No,
OBS
it
set
ain't.
OBS setup's hard. Streaming's easy, in my
No.
opinion. I think the setup is the worst part. Streaming is not. Hitting go live for me. Hitting go live is
Mm-mm.
the easy part because then I'm just playing a game for however many hours. It's everything that goes into streaming
Well,
for me. So why is it harder for
well,
you to set up than or to stream than to set up then?
it's just harder in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Cause like you could sit down, play a game for hours, but you cannot be entertaining.
Hmm.
You can still be extremely boring. It takes a certain type of charisma to draw in more people, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that's true. It I think it depends on the game too. Like I play a lot of single player stuff, so it's harder for me to get that hype going, Like I do a lot of single player stuff. I think if I were more into stuff like Valorant, and shit like that, and like had a crew and like popping off to fucking big W's and shit like that, I'd probably do better than I'm
Yeah,
doing. How
I
different when you're doing an 18 plus stream? How different is it versus you going live on Twitch? If you is it any different at all, or walk me through it? Is it no different except you're like fucking vibrating everywhere, or what's going
it's
on?
pretty much no different
So
to me.
you just hit live wherever you're going live, and sometimes there will be more pleasure than other times. I assume is that kind of what you're geared towards?
Pleasure, huh?
I mean, or not pleasure. I don't know.
It's, uh, it's just I can be more loose on what I say. That's about the only difference.
Yeah, but you're already 18 plus on Twitch. You can technically say whatever you want.
Debatable.
Well, obviously TOS. So you think there are things that you wouldn't say on Twitch that you would during a 18 plus
Yes.
stream. Like aside from like obviously like oh fuck me harder and shit like that. Like obviously that kind of stuff, but like your normal lexicon. doesn't change all that much, you know, I guess.
Yeah, fuck me harder, daddy.
Yeah, exactly. So you wouldn't say something like that on Twitch or in that capacity unless it's like I guess a redeem, I guess. I don't fucking know. But cuz I don't know. Like for me, I
You
feel
gotta
like
hold you gotta hold some standard to like the difference between the platforms. Otherwise, if you hold the same content on both platforms, then people won't be interested in uh going into the other platform to see what else is different.
I get that. I don't know. I'm just so used to everybody doing like some fucking like RR redeem and some shit that's like lewd as hell, you know?
Uh,
Yeah, exactly that. Like, so is that a Twitch thing or would that be an 18 plus thing? Like, see the
That's a
difference.
Twitch thing.
Okay. So Ara is Twitch and Jam It in My Ass is like 18 plus. Is that like the divide? Is that the divide? I guess. I know, I'm
It's
very
not so
eloquent with my
complicated
words.
as you think. It's just like you can actually like fuck yourself on Fansly, but it's practically the same type of engagement as
I'm just
Twitch.
saying, I mean, I feel like you can get away with it. You can get away with it more as a model than as like an IRL like cam streamer on Twitch at least. Should you do it? Absolutely not. Don't fucking jerk off during your streams, people. That's fucking weird. But I feel like if you were gonna and you were discreet about it, you probably could get away with it.
Don't give people watching this ideas.
What? No, they were already gonna do it if they were thinking it.
Don't encourage
Alright. Fine. Don't jerk off while you're streaming, everybody.
it. PSA. Don't
Or
jerk it.
I mean, I can't stop you if you want to, but don't do it. I'm not your dad or your mom or your neither. Just don't jerk off. Don't jerk off. that's that's a word, boy. Don't ever jerk off. Let it all pent up inside of you, because that's just as healthy. Ain't that right?
Pop off on stream. Don't jerk off on stream.
Okay. So why isn't the mommy milk a thing that I was talking about earlier?
Mommy milk.
Yeah, the mommy milk they throw at you or whatever.
It is already a thing.
Okay, that's what I thought. I know Twitch chat.
I drink so much goddamn milk is practically integrated into my system at this point.
Is it real milk or is it like almond milk or something like that?
The fuck?
What? What? I
It's
just
real milk.
I don't know. Like some people can't like lactose and shit, or they just want to be a little healthier. I don't know. I'm just asking what kind of milk. I'm a 2% kind of guy for everyone.
I actually drink up to uh 2 to 3 gallons a week.
Holy shit. That's a lot of fucking milk. Holy shit.
I drink a lot, yes.
So is it just like you have like a glass of milk, or you like cooking with it, like cereal? Like is it
I
just?
drink it straight up.
Oh shit. Do you even have a glass? Or you just drink it out of the gallon jug?
I get like a little cup.
Okay.
You know, I
Yeah.
need to get a dedicated milk glass. That's a great idea.
Just get like a water bottle, but use it for milk instead. Like one of those 2 liter ones. Just get one of those, but
No,
use it for
those won't
milk.
work because if you leave it, it becomes disgusting.
What if you're drinking 2 to 3 gallons? You're fine.
I need I need I need a more of
Insulation.
a glass. A glass cup.
Just get a thermos, a big
No.
thermos. I mean, a thermos is keeping heat, but it would also keep in cold if you were pouring a cold drink in there.
No. Those
What?
become disgusting after a short time.
Were you not cleaning your glasses that short time? How long are you leaving it there?
Just trust me on this.
I don't want I don't want milk from your house. I don't trust it. I don't trust your gallons of milk anymore. So are your hydrate redeems milk redeems, I guess? if you have
Yes.
a hydrate. You need to
Yeah.
drink water. Milk.
I
Okay,
do.
I'm just saying, milk will thirsty you out. I used to be like you. I used to go through like a gallon. Okay, maybe not like fucking 3 gallons a week, but I used to go through a gallon a week, and
Uh
that shit makes me
so
thirsty.
there was actually a time where like the average expiration time period of a milk gallon is around like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There was at one time where my roommate actually purchased 6 gallons of milk accidentally because they forgot to take like 3 gallons off of the grocery list, so they ordered 6 gallons by accident, and I drank all 6 gallons before their
How
expiration
much
date.
milk do you? So is it only normal milk, or is it? Do
Whole
you
milk.
mix in? Well, no, I meant just like, do you mix in like chocolate milk ever, or is it just like regular old milk?
Uh, well,
Like,
I would sometimes just mix in like a protein mix for like the good vitamins and protein
hmm
into the milk. Other than that, I would just I would just drink it straight up.
So you don't do chocolate milk.
No.
Do you do strawberry milk?
Yes.
All right, it's been a good time. Strawberry milk's disgusting. I like strawberries. I like the taste of strawberries.
It's so sweet. I love it.
I don't know. I just don't.
Chocolate milk has that bitterness that I don't like.
I don't know. I think this is propaganda now that you're taking down chocolate milk. So, in conclusion, would you recommend to people giving lewd tubing and like going to Fansly and checking out streams a chance, even if they're not like me? Like, I'm not, huge into like sexual stuff or anything like that.
Mhm.
Like, obviously, I have a sex drive, but like if I'm watching a stream, I'm not going there because, big titties or something like, you know what I mean? Like if I'm in a stream, it's like we're friends. I want to watch the game or whatever they're doing. What would you say to somebody like me that would be hesitant to say watch you on Fansly doing a stream on Fansly? What would you tell them? Would be like what would you tell them to get them to come into one of your Fansly streams, for example?
Simply, you can't judge something until you try it yourself. Because you might awaken a kink that you may not have discovered before. Plus, my area is like a safe space, so like I'm always open for more ideas, and I like to hear opinions.
So basically, even if you're not in 18 plus stuff, you can always just leave if it's not your
Mm.
vibe. But
Well,
you
like
tried
some
it. But
people
you
also
try.
do.
Yep,
Some people actually do come to my stream just to like, hi, Soul. I'm just gonna hang out here.
it's gonna
It's like,
alert.
all right, fine. That's totally fine. If you want to be here while I moan in your ear, that is totally fine.
All right,
That is
one last question for you. You could say anything you want to anybody, anything, whatever you want to word it. Uh, However you want to word it. Hit me with what you would want to say to I guess people out there. What would you want to say? Anything that you want.
don't be afraid to explore new avenues and paths may that you may come across because it might become a major part of your life someday and you don't even know at the time. So treasure the things that you have and don't take anything that happens to you for granted because just it may there might be a time where a bad experience happens to you, but you can still grow from that experience and you just develop from all those experiences. So don't be afraid to try something new every once in a while, because if I didn't, explore the avenues that were presented to me, I wouldn't be the content creator that I am today, that has a happy community, that makes people smile every time I go live, that has a bunch of loving and supporting friends that would wish nothing more than to see me succeed. I wouldn't see any of that if I didn't actually give all these avenues a try.